Welcome, Strategy Battle Gamers, to another GBHL YouTube channel video. You hear your channel host, GBHL James.
GBHL Jamie.
And Bilbo.
I'm Bilbo. GBHL Bilbo.
GBHL Bilbo, come on, alright then, come on. And we are coming up towards the end of Free People's Week. Got 2 more videos to do for the reviews.
Yeah, we've got the Fellowship and Wanderers in the Wild / White Council.
And then hopefully we're going to get a battle report for you. And we think we're going to go for...
Is it during Folk Rivendell?
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Last time that there was During Folk Rivendell, wasn't that in Middle-earth Sedley's Warbands?
I believe so, yeah. How did that go?
I would rather not talk about it. So we are going to be talking about the Fellowship today, guys. Now you will have heard us talk about various ones of these profiles in the past.
Yeah, I mean, we've already touched on Legolas, Gimli, and various others.
Yeah, at different points.
Different points pals.
But of course this is going to be a great go-to place for any of those characters. First of all, I'd like to say that I love playing as the Fellowship.
It's so fun, isn't it?
It's so much fun. So much fun.
They've got their own special rule, which gets forgotten about.
Okay, well we'll start off with that special rule.
So Fellowship Warband special rules, obviously they're all heroes, they can all be in the same warband despite not normally being allowed in one. Fellowship Warband including Samwise may also include Bill the Pony, increasing its maximum size to 10 heroes, and if it only includes Frodo and Sam, it may also include Smeagol.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
And Protect the Ring Bearer. While Frodo lives, all other members of the Fellowship automatically pass courage tests for your force being broken.
So these are easy things to forget in game. But so definitely worth pointing out. Now, as a more experienced player, probably played a few more games with the Fellowship. Do these come up much?
No.
No.
Typically, if you're broken, it's all gone wrong anyway. But everyone's courage 6, and Frodo's probably is still alive. But it's a really moot point because you probably pass anyway.
Yes, and there's some interesting options in this Fellowship list, and we're going to start off with the guy who really starts. Well, he's the main sort of protagonist, really. I know that Frodo is in some ways, but Gandalf is the one that makes everyone happen
in everything.
Yes, he certainly is.
He's Tolkien,
and it is Gandalf the Grey.
Yeah, so Gandalf the Grey, 170 points.
So he's quite expensive.
He's very expensive, yeah. He is Fight 5 with a 4+ shoot value, Strength 4, Defense 5, 1 attack, 3 wounds, Courage 7, 3 might, 6 will, 3 fate.
So you're pretty standard wizard profile.
Your wizard profile, which we'll come on to probably later on with the White Council when we see more of them. He has a staff, which is a 2-handed weapon, Glamdring and Narya. So Glamdring, whenever he fights with Glamdring rather than his staff, he adds +1 to his strength value, giving him a strength value of 5.
Which can be
very good, yeah. Narya is Gandalf's ring. He can re-roll the dice when using fate points. So if he fails a fate point, he can re-roll it.
And this is a really key thing because, of course, it makes him a very good leader.
Yes,
because he's got the 3 wounds, he's got the 3 fates,
which is essentially 6 fate.
It's essentially 6 fates. He's got the re-rolls. Yeah. He's got the re-rolls. Now that does mean it's incredibly infuriating if you've got Gandalf and you fail them all.
Roll. Just come on.
Because you expect him to at least get his re-rolls.
Yeah, it's 25% chance of failure for 1 roll.
Yeah, and then when it happens 4/6, that's rather infuriating. But it does mean that he's a good leader. He's quite survivable. It means that he might not take wounds particularly easy, which of course in a lot of the scenario play is quite important.
Indeed. He's got 2 options. He's got Gandalf's cart and a horse.
So,
and also he's been FAQ'd to have Shadowfax in the Fellowship list.
Oh really?
Yes.
You can take Gandalf the Grey can take Shadowfax
in this Fellowship list, but nowhere else, because he has Shadowfax.
I did not know this.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I didn't know this. This could be
very
good.
handy.
That is very handy. Well, I know what I'm doing with my next list. And that's in the FAQ for
pretty certain it's Free People's FAQ.
Okay, I have to go check that out. Now let's start off with Gandalf's car. First of all, what a stunning model, and still available.
Do you want to read that? I will show you. I think I have the FAQs. I'm going to double check it because I'm pretty certain.
Now Gandalf's car is an absolutely gorgeous model.
Very
really is a stunning model, and it really sort of throws your mind back to those Alan Lee illustrations, doesn't it? You know.
Him rocking up into the Shire. Yeah,
rocking up into the Shire, which of course is that those opening sequences of Fellowship of the Ring after you've got the prologue. It's of course him turning up in his car. I absolutely love that model, and I have actually seen a couple on the table as well.
Yeah, I've seen a few.
So it's not as rare as you think.
What, to see it in game? No,
Yeah,
no.
it's not as rare as you think. I played against Alistair King, bought one.
Yeah, here it is. It's called it. Yes, got it right. Page 43. The Fellowship Gandalf the Grey. Add the following option. Shadowfax 15 points.
Superb! Well, I've just added Shadowfax to my no rope.
Yeah.
That's the 5 points I was struggling to spend.
There you go.
Certainly was.
Fence 5 horse, 12-inch movement.
So Gandalf's cart, what does Gandalf's cart do?
Gandalf's cart it's an 8-inch movement thing here. It's strength 3, defense 5, 3 wounds 3, or courage 3 as well. None of that makes any difference.
Not that makes any difference. So defense 5.
Defense 5 and 3 wounds.
So
and it is cavalry. It's not a chariot.
Okay, so it does work as cavalry. So if it does charge in, it gets the +1.
Yep.
Yeah, and it also gets a knockdown.
That's down against infantry.
And it's an interesting size base.
It's 50 mil. It's
50
same
mil
as the
base.
chariots. Very, very big.
Yeah, quite a big base, which could lend itself to being surrounded, but it does mean that you can kind of have a bit more of a range to affect things.
Yeah,
in
well,
the
his what he does is a little bit, but also it's the blinding light from that base is massive.
And that's sometimes the competitive reason you might see someone bring that.
Gandalf's
Although
cart.
most people bring Gandalf's cart because it looks cool.
It's cool. They're taking a Hobbit for us.
Yeah. So Shadowfax is also a good option.
Yeah, with 12-inch movement, defense 5.
And then obviously the option to take a horse. So immediately, a bit of versatility there, and it means that you're going to be able to get Gandalf to affect the game the way that you want him to affect the game.
Special rules, he's got his Staff of Power, as all wizards do. Gandalf can expend 1 point of will per turn without reducing his store.
Which is pretty cool. Now he does have quite a few magical powers. He has Blinding Light, which you can get on a 2+, and this tends to be against a lot of sort of standard armies, something to go for.
You channel it.
Yeah, you channel it, so you use your 3 point, one from your...
I like to use 2. I've theory hammered a lot, and I think I'd rather spend a point of will for my store and a free one rather than use the free one from my store and maybe use a might point.
Although it's a real kicker when you roll double 1.
I'll say if you roll double 1, you've done it anyway, so that's
Yeah.
really annoying. But it's a 1 in 36 chance. Whereas if you roll just the 1 dice, you could be Gandalf could be down to 1 might in turn 1.
Yeah.
And you're like, if only I use the point of will. The point of might's more valuable than will point.
Yeah, that's definitely something that you taught me in the early days. Because I was like, well, 2+, you might as well just use your free one. Use your free one, save you over 5. But actually, it's worth it. In most games, it's worth it. And 2+, very good casting value for that.
Yeah.
It's just got Terrifying Aura. Now, that's probably going to be one that you might channel if you're not up against a bow force.
Now it's bows or fury.
Yeah.
Or I think if you're against courage 4 or less, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Elves still pass reasonably easily.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's worth channeling if you're up against something which is low courage, like you say, not got any of the fury, because of course then they've got to use 3 dice. You take away the highest, and then so it's quite good against some evil armies that don't have fury. And it protects him if he's a leader. That's a key
especially
thing.
one, especially if your force is small like an old heroes like the Batrock. Immobilising command on 3 and 4+, and then Sorcerer's Blast on a 5+.
Yeah, so both good spells, reasonable casting value there. 3+ immobilise is pretty good.
Yeah.
Command on a 4+. Sorcerer's Blast 5+. Now, Sorcerer's Blast, you see a lot of people go to that spell when they're just learning because they think well, it's the big
it's the
spectacular.
aggressive. It's the aggressive one.
Yeah.
Whereas really, immobilise on a 3+ is the nuanced spell that can change the game.
What kind of role do we see Gandalf the Grey when he comes along? What kind of role?
He's defensive. Well, he's the all-rounder, isn't he, of the wizarding world? He is defensive and has aggression, but not as good as Saruman the White.
Yeah, I'd say he gives
Or
you that
Saruman
defensive
the White
options, but he's also got a reasonable amount of table control that he can give to you, because that is the layer that it brings. But then, of course, the next profile that we look at is his much more expensive, much whiter version of himself. It is Gandalf the White, 220 points.
Lots, very high points. Big,
50
big
points more.
Yeah.
And what is he getting more for 50
But
points?
he keeps all the exact same rules, exact same options. He loses his Gandalf's cards, but he gains the option for an Elven Cloak, which is decent. You keep your wizards hidden.
Could be handy.
Yeah, you probably want him on Shadowfax. Gives Staff of Power, but his casting values increase. It's what you're really paying for here. So, Blend Light on a 2, Immobilise goes to a 2+.
Okay, which is very handy.
It's very handy, so you can very reliably 1 dice against
Especially when you're already out of will.
Yeah, down to your last point.
Last point, you can still immobilise things.
Yep. Command on a 3+, Strength and Will on a 3+, which actually we missed that out there.
Yep, strength and will. Yeah.
Strength and Will, so that can take you above your starting, and
Can you do it on himself?
I don't think you can cast it on yourself that one.
Okay.
Pretty certain. He's got Your Staff is Broken, which is a new spell for him on a 3+, so obviously to break Saruman the white, or Saruman of many colours staff.
Yep, of course.
Or anybody's who's got the staff stuff.
Now he's also FAQ'd to have Sorcerer's Blast.
Yeah, on a 4+.
On a 4+, which that's pretty good.
That's good.
That's good.
Whether it's worth the 50 points, I'm still unsure. I think
He's probably a bit expensive, I
A
think.
bit too expensive. If he, I think we've said this in the past, and it's a very commonly held belief. If he had 2 attacks,
Yeah.
then, or if he could lead Minas Tirith
If he could lead Minas Tirith
in his current profile,
in his current
he'd be
profile,
decent.
then you would take. I reckon you would take him with some Minas Tirith.
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely.
But it's the fact that, of course, with a lot of these guys, if you're trying to insert them into your normal armies, not just taking them as part of all hero, then of course you are unable to take troops with them. Very, very, very strong wizard. Probably strongest, but very expensive, so you don't see him all the time. I do like taking him for fun because it's fun to use.
He is fun. I still think Saruman the White pips Gandalf the White, but Gandalf the Grey beats Saruman the White in my opinion.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Very interesting, very interesting. So then we're going to come on to another very fun but very expensive profile.
And he's someone I always try and consider into lists because it's his mighty hero, which we'll come on to now. It is Aragorn.
It's Aragorn Strider.
Aragorn Strider.
Now we have talked about other Aragorn profiles.
LSR.
We talked about Elisar, and we've also talked about
Isildur's Heir.
Isildur's Heir in Kingdoms of Men Week. So if you've not seen them, go and check those videos out.
And a lot of those things that we've talked about are going to be relevant here as well. So, fight 6 with 3+ shoot value, strength 4, defense 5, 3 attacks, 3 wounds, courage 6, 3/3 for Might Will Fate, and mighty hero on the might point.
Okay, so standard Aragorn Strider there.
Yeah.
Of course, the options that he's got, he can take. We'll come on to that top one last, I think. He can take an Elven Cloak for 10 points, which can be worth it if he's on foot. A horse, 10 points, almost a guarantee.
As we say, lots of horses.
He can take armour. Now, this takes him to defence 6. Now, this is something that Isildur's Heir can't do.
Yeah.
Where you might consider taking Strider instead of Isildur's Heir. And of course, the fact he can take a horse, Isildur's Heir can't do that. And he can also take a bow, okay, which you might consider doing if you've got the 5 points or if you've got that kind of army. He can also take Anduril, Flame of the West.
So Anduril, Flame of the West is, well, it's a weapon.
It's a sword.
It's a sword.
It's a pointy thing, kill stuff.
Yeah. That wounds on a 4+, irregardless of the opponent's defence, unless it would be better for Aragorn to wound things on the 3.
Yeah. Now, 75 points. So let's just say that you don't take any of the other options. That takes him to 250 points for a defence 6.
For 200.
Sorry, a defence 5 hero. That's if it's 250.
Yeah.
But a defence 5 can only go to defence 6 hero. No magic. It's for a 4+.
Anduril, it's just not worth it. Not when there's piercing strike out there. Not when there's we talk about it in dwarves, Durin's axe. It gets that weapons that get that +1 or burly outstrip that 4+.
It certainly does. When certain models are paying
fighting
like 5 points for that as a special rule, effectively, if you work out the points. For something like Burley, if you look at Azog, you know,
3+ wounds and
always
heroes.
hits the heroes on a 3+. Anduril is clearly something that was written into the game very early.
Outdated.
Yeah, it's incredibly outdated. I think that you would consider maybe taking that if it was 15-20 points.
20, I think, 20 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, somewhere around that kind of mark. But the fact that it's 75 foot, you never see it, and it's one of the reasons why you don't see LSR, because you have to buy it.
You're forced into taking it.
You're forced into taking it. But one of the probably the main reasons for taking Aragorn, apart from the fact that Aragorn is cool,
Mighty hero.
mighty hero.
Being able to heroic move every single turn. As soon as your opponent's out of might, you control the board.
He is the master of the end game.
Yeah.
If you can keep him alive, he gives you complete battle control at the end. And of course, he is also putting your opponent in positions where
I'll call a free heroic move. I don't really want to spend my actual might point.
Yeah.
Or I charge him, I'll heroic strike for free.
It's incredibly useful, especially if you can use it. Do we see many Aragorn Striders out there? I think we see a couple.
You always tell it. There's always a few.
And he is good.
But there's never lots.
He's good, but he is expensive.
He fits in really well with an all-hero force.
Yeah, he does. He certainly does.
Because he keeps all their heroic stats high.
Yeah, because of that free heroic that you can call every turn. Aragorn's cool. Lots of really cool poses for Aragorn. I think a lot of time, if people are doing like an actual fellowship, people sometimes try and think, well, maybe I'll take Isildur's Heir because the banner reroll.
And they can move through.
They become woodland creature effectively.
But they can't. But you get the horse with him.
You get the horse, and again, ever consistent hero on horse. So if you're going to see Aragorn, you tend to see Aragorn Strider.
Yeah.
And then we come on to one of the most fun profiles in the game.
Big explosion.
The hand grenade, the human hand grenade.
Boromir Gondor.
Wow. And this isn't this is a different profile than what we talked about before in the Kings of Men week. Boromir of Gondor, what is he?
So he's 105 points.
Immediately, that's okay.
A lot cheaper. Very accessible.
That's pretty good.
Fight 6, 4+ shoot value, strength 4, defense 6, 3 attacks, 3 wounds, courage 6.
This so far sounds amazing.
Yep, 6 might, 1 will, 0 fate.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Let's talk about that stat line. He's looking good across the board there. Now,
But his actual stats are fantastic.
Yeah.
Fight 6, 3 attacks, 3 wounds.
And you think, for 105 points, this is really, really good. And then you see the first bit, might. 6 might.
So he can do what he needs to do. For that first time, he can do it.
105 points. Cheap 6 might.
Yeah.
And everything he's got before. 1 will, not fantastic, but
No.
he's got something there.
Yep. Obviously no fate because he does get shot 3 times.
He does, and
3 wounds.
he does die. However, for 105 points, that's great value.
Yeah, especially if you don't come up against a magic caster.
Yeah.
And maybe if you've got Gandalf in your force with blinding light, bow's not going to hurt him with that no fate.
Certainly is. Okay.
His options are an elven cloak, which is
well worth it for
it.
him.
Keep him safe from shooting, and a horse for 10 points, which again, you just multiply his ability to kill stuff.
Certainly
massively.
do. Now he also gets to take the Horn of Gondor if you can remember to use it. The Boromir can blow the horn at the start of the fight if he's outnumbered by 2 to 1 or more. So again, in an all-hero force,
He just charges to 2. Might win before you have to roll dice. Spend might.
which is pretty good, pretty good. If this is passed, the combat support is normal. If the test is failed, Boromir automatically wins the fight and can strike blows against his enemies. Now his weakness is shooting, of course, defense 6, and no fate. Does mean that you can go down reasonably quick to that. Because defense 6, you know,
Most things need 6s, and crossbows need 5s.
most things need 6s, and that's, you know, not. It's going to happen.
Yeah, eventually it will.
Eventually it will happen. But he's such a fun profile to use. You like using him, don't you?
Yes, very much.
Very much so.
It's just he doesn't tend to make it into armies because again, none of these characters can lead troops. But as a fellowship force, he's great in there.
I took him as when I did. We went down to East Grinstead. The first time, not the first time, but I think the first time they did the you have to take 250 points plus. I took Gwahir, who just was a waste of points for in that. It didn't do anything. And the next time, instead of changing my list, I took Boromir of Gondor instead on a horse.
Elven cloak.
Might have been with Elven Cloak to make the points.
Make the points up.
And he was so much better.
Yeah.
6 might in a cavalry force.
Just keep it moving.
Now the interesting predicament again is 6 might versus 3 might with the free one.
Yeah, so 3 might to 3-1, obviously you get the point might every single turn. You get more might during the game, but Boromir can go in and do what he needs to do.
And then die.
That one turn.
So if you're going to use him, you're going to try and get him to take out target priority models.
Yeah,
so go and kill that leader, go and kill that shaman, go and kill that banner, go and kill the troll. Go do those Boromir. Then if you die, we love you, Sean Bean.
Or
you've done your job.
The flip side is like, charge those troops, heroic combat, do it. Right, next turn, do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again.
And you don't mind him dying. You expect him to die.
As long as you've used all his 6 might before he dies, he's done his job.
And I think the Boromir of Gondor at 105 points, 115, of course, he's got a horse. He can make that back.
Yeah.
He can make that back. So definitely a good model from this. And then we're going to come up to someone that we talked about just this very week.
Yeah. 4 videos ago.
Probably 2 of our favourite profiles.
Yeah.
I really like this profile.
This is Legolas. He's got all the exact same rules as in the Lothlorien video, so assuming you've watched that, I don't think we need to really discuss on him because the next one's got the biggest wall of text in the book.
Yep, so do go and check out when we talk about Legolas in Free Peoples. But Legolas in this list is, of course, very, very good. He's giving you that shooting.
That's that range before you actually get there to hurt the things you need to hurt.
He does tend to be one of the first ones to go down because he's relatively soft.
Yeah, even with armour, defense 5, so he's a target.
He is a target.
2 attacks, so he can go down quick.
Yeah, it's the 2 attacks which can kind of let him down.
He and the Hobbits, and to some extent Gandalf, are the ones that you would pick to try and kill first if you're against the Fellowship.
I would agree with that. So now we do come to the Hobbit. It's
Frodo.
It's your nephew. Oh, look at that.
Honestly.
He is asleep.
No.
How cute is that? Come on. Right, anyway.
Right, so Frodo, 60 points base.
Okay, so
he's same as Bilbo.
Yeah.
Fight 3 with 3+ shoot value. Movement 4 inches, obviously he's a Hobbit. Strength 2, defense 3, 1 attack, 2 wounds, courage 6, 2 might, 3 will, 3 fate.
So stats are pretty good.
Right, he's alright.
Good courage.
Yeah. We'll do his options and then we'll do the wall of text instead. So you can take a mithril coat, which takes him from defense 3 to defense 6 for 25 points.
Ooh, that's
It's
expensive.
So for 3 pips of defense, which would normally be 15 points, he's paying 25 for.
There is a big difference between being strength 3 and being
Defense 3, defense 6.
defense 3 and defense 6. There's a big
And
difference.
Mithril Co, if you're taking it, if you can get those points in, he's well worth taking it over the other two options.
Yeah.
Because obviously getting to defense 6, he's probably going to be the one that you need to keep alive.
Yeah.
Sting to make himself go from strength 2 to strength 3 for 15 points. That's not worth it.
That's not worth it for 15 points.
15 points, you can give the other guys more important gear for 15 points. And you can take an Elven Cloak for 10 points.
Probably worth it.
If you've got the points
If you've got the points to do it, probably
But
worth
he's
it. Or
got-
you don't want him to be too expensive.
Yeah, because he needs to be cheap enough that everyone else can get their fighty stuff.
Yeah, of course.
He also has the ring.
The ring?
The ring, but he's got his own
ring.
He's got his own version of the ring.
Okay.
So this is not the ring that we all know from the Hobbit rulebook.
No.
He's got his own
Set of
piece
rules.
here, yeah. So have a quick read of this. Pausing was.
Yeah.
Okay, so back after having a quick glance, if you can see, if you've got the People's Book, it's a whole page dedicated to this ring.
A wall of text.
Yeah. So
The key things.
key things are the differences to the current ring in its Hobbit form is that Frodo can put the ring on at any point during his movement phase and it instantly becomes invisible.
Yep.
That's the same. However, when he's invisible, he can't charge or be charged.
Okay.
So there's no courage test to try and charge him. But he also can't charge, so he can't
Be in combat.
he can't do the drop your fight value by half.
Yep.
He can put the ring on even if he's been charged
Okay.
to get out of combat.
Makes him survivable.
Yeah, and whilst he's invisible, unlike the Hobbit ring, he can move through other models,
Right.
and
okay.
other models move through him.
Okay.
So the current ring that everyone else uses, if you put the ring on, you can't go through other people.
Okay.
Well, obviously Frodo can. Everything else stays the same, so if you want to try and take it off, you need to pass a courage test. At courage 6, he's likely to do that if
Yeah.
you want to take it off.
Well, he's got free will.
Yeah, and on a roll of a 3, 4, 5 or 6, the good player controls him, 1 or 2 not, and might can be used to influence that. The ring is still the same in that if he's the only model left in the good force side whilst he's wearing the ring, he's a casualty.
Yeah.
So he needs to take it off.
So, in terms of a role within the Fellowship, bearing in mind that a lot of this is going to be for scenario play. Let's face it, with the Fellowship. But let's say you're taking it to a tournament. Does he make an alright leader at all? Because he can't be charged and such like. If you put the ring on him at the start.
It sounds really bad, but I don't think there's a place for Frodo in the Fellowship list with that ring. If it was the
Kill Frodo!
I know. If it was Bilbo's ring, where he could go in and immobilise things essentially,
That would
and
be
halve their
really
fight
good.
value, that'd be really handy for everyone else to save their might. But he doesn't.
Take Bilbo in the Fellowship instead.
Yeah. He would do.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but yeah.
It is a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a shame because that means that already we've had 2 Frodo profiles that
That was
really,
rubbish.
if you go and watch our Shire video.
Yeah. So
was out
moving on from Frodo. It will have been yesterday, will it? Will it have been yesterday? It depends what the schedule is.
Yeah, because it will be.
It will be.
This is after the Shire, isn't it?
Right, yeah. Next up we've got Gimli, son of Gloin, and if you go watch the Durin's Folk video, you'll see our thoughts on him. He's the exact same as he was there.
Now, in this list, he's very, very useful, especially for pinning down troops, I find.
Just defense 8, 3 attacks.
Because, just chuck him into the troops which can surround your Legolases and your Aragorns. Leave Aragorn and Legolas to go and deal with stuff that they can deal with.
Yeah.
And just rely on the fact that because he's got the attacks, he's got the defence.
He and Boromir can just hold up the troops in this list.
They certainly can, yeah. So you use them to do that.
Yeah. Apologies for the building work going on.
Yeah, apologies.
Next up we got Samwise Gamgee.
Somewhere, and this is a different rule to
Different
rules.
version.
Good stuff.
30 points, so very cheap. He's fight 3 with a 3+ shoot value, strength 2, defense 3, 1 attack, 2 wounds, courage 5, 1 might, 1 will, 1 fate. Oh, sorry, 2 fates.
2 fate.
Yeah. And can take an Elven Cloak for 10 points. So
Okay.
again, he's just here to fill up the Fellowship basically.
He's got the standard Hobbit rules as well, that he's resistant to magic and can throw stones. Fills out the Fellowship. One thing that he does do, of course, it's an extra point of might in there, isn't it? Extra point of might, the extra lot of attacks.
And then we've got Merry and Pippin, who have the exact same profile, to both 10 points, so very cheap.
Very cheap.
Fight 3, 3+ shoot value, strength 2, defense 3, 1 attack, 1 wound, courage 4, 0 might, 0 will, 1 fate.
Okay.
So those 3, and in some sense Frodo, are purely scenario play.
Yeah.
And you're taking them because you want to take the full Fellowship.
Yeah.
You're not
10
taking
points very cheap.
Yeah,
For
I
a
mean,
drop that's got fate.
You might find that turn up in other lists.
Yeah.
Just like I've got Merry and Pippin. They've wandered into this army. Then they can drop down.
Yeah.
Then we've got the 2 independents who can only be included with the conditions from the start of the fellowship.
Yep, so as such, it means that you very rarely see these guys.
Very rarely see.
We've got Build a Pony. Build a Pony is 30 points. He's exactly the same number of points as Samwise Gamgee. He moves 8 inches. He's got a 1 fight value, 6 plus shoot value, which isn't really relevant. He's strength 3, defense 4, 1 attack, 2 wounds, courage 2, 0 might, 1 will, 1 fate. But he's not here for this, it's what he does for other models. So he's got some special rules. And the first special rule is official meals. Hobbits treat Bill as a banner. So that's pretty handy straight away. It means that they've got 2 attacks defensively.
2 attacks to win
2 attacks.
Combats and survive.
Could be helpful. And then they've got their second breakfast. Yep. Each turn, a single member of the Fellowship that ends its move in base contact with Bill may attempt to regain a point of might, will, or fate. Roll a dice. On a score of a 6, the point is restored.
Not likely to come off.
If that was a 4+, you might see him.
Yeah, you might see him.
You might see, if it was a 4+, if you had a 50-50 chance, you might take him in there.
Yeah.
And I think that would be well worth it. On a 6,
nah, not likely.
You know, are you going to get 12 turns in a game? Whether you could get 2 points of might, 30 points.
I guess in a campaign it'd be useful because every turn you'd be trying it.
Yeah.
To get someone something back.
Yeah, I guess in the Fellowship campaign. Did you use him in the Fellowship campaign to build Pony turn up in any of them?
No, he's not in any of them.
Not in any of them?
No.
Unbelievable oversight.
No. I think he's a late addition. I think they made a model for him.
Right.
These are rules that they made for him.
It's a cool little model.
Yeah, he is. I've got him.
Have you got him? Yeah, I think it's a nice one to have. If somebody would like to send me that for free, I will take it. And then next up we've got another star of the show.
Yeah. Oh no, he's got a rule here.
I've missed one.
He's only a pony.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Bill may never charge the enemy, and no other model may use a standfast roll. However, he may benefit from the friendly Hobbit standfast rolls.
I don't know why you'd want to rely on his standfast.
Chris too. Woohoo!
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. And then lastly, if you have just Frodo and Sam, you can take Smeagol, who is 35 points, friendly Smeagol. Movement 5.
Okay.
Fight 4, so different to the Smeagol that we know from the Goblin Town is Fight 5.
Gollum's Fight 5, isn't it? Which is good combination with the ring.
Yeah, and he's 1 point of might, he's the best fighter for 1 turn only. Strength 4, Defense 4, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, Courage 4, 1 might, 0 will, 1 fate. That's pretty decent.
I think that's alright. 35 points.
Decent fight line, and if you've got Frodo, Sam, and obviously Smeagol's there for campaign stuff, he's actually got some combat ability to him.
Yeah.
War gear. Smeagol has strong, strangling fingers and is never considered unarmed, ever.
Which is...
Special rules, Cave Dweller, so you can... I don't know what Cave Dweller does anymore, but probably move through rocks and...
Something like that.
Yeah.
Go check out our Morio and Angmar. We've done that one. Go check out our Morio and Angmar, because we will have gone through Cave Dweller.
Yeah, sure. And serve the Master of the Precious. The army must include Frodo to include Smeagol.
So there you go.
Yeah, that's already been stipulated earlier.
The Fellowship. That is the Fellowship discussed. So do we see these guys? Well, actually I think you do tend to see a Fellowship seem to pop up sort of at every other tournament, I think.
And if not the Fellowship, definitely the 3 Hunters.
Yeah, definitely
From that
combination of. A combination of. Really, really good fun to play as. If any of you guys haven't played a game with the Fellowship, I would recommend it highly. It's so much fun. I think the first time I used the Fellowship was when I had to be a ringer at our first tournament on the second day.
It wasn't the entire Fellowship though, was it? There was no Frodo, no Sam.
No.
It was 600 points. It was the 3 Hunters rushing to save Boromir and Merry Pippin.
That's right, yeah. Yes, it certainly was. And I used that.
I'm on Hen Force.
And it was so much fun. So much fun to play as. So if you've not done that, go and do it. Especially if you get a chance to use Boromir of Gondor. I'm very lucky. I've got Breaking the Fellowship Boromir.
Yeah,
best Gondor. So that's got to be the best. That's got to be the best Boromir.
Goofy horn.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. There's quite a few of them out there as well. The ones with the horn. I think it's just a bit of a
lackluster.
Yeah, a bit of a lackluster pose. But apart from that, that's the Fellowship done. That means that there is only one more sort of discussion video that we're going to be doing next, and we are going to be talking about Wanderers in the Wild and also
the White Council.
The White Council. So that's going to be the next video. I hope you enjoyed the Fellowship video. Hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe.
Support me on Patreon, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
Support your Hobbit hobby.
And happy strategy battle gaming.
It's the first time that we've got that completely right for a long time.